Hello, everybody. I'm Chad Jacobson from Watertown. Take me a minute. Knew Joe since I was about 6. Swim team, little speedos. Boomer looked like Noah at the time. And we swam together and grew up, and because of Gary and Greg teaching their boys to hunt, fish, they in turn got me into it. And we grew up hunting, fishing, skipping school, going either water skiing or hunting in the fall, avoiding the local law enforcement when we could. For some reason, I always got caught. I don't know why. But, you know, some of my fondest memories are waking up in the morning at Lake Pesca, stealing as much beer as I could from my father's cooler, getting up, driving across the lake, jumping in the house. Sue would point to his bedroom. He's over there. I'd jump on him, as you would well know. He wasn't fond of getting out of bed in the morning, but I'd do a couple body slams on him, and finally he would say, "Okay, let's go." Then we'd pick G2 up, we'd pick Joe up, or Tim up, and we'd spend the day in the lake, skiing, trying to learn how to barefoot, which we eventually got after many a trial and tribulation. We'd make fun of the girls here as they stood on the dock wanting to get into the boat. "Yeah, we'll get to you, we'll get to you." And just had a lot of fun out on that lake, and, you know, spending a lot of time hunting, waking up ungodly hours in the morning and blasting Bon Jovi on the stereo for some reason. As we're going to some local hunting site that, I don't know how G2 and Joey always knew where these spots were, but I would just, "All right, just tell me where to go." And we had a lot of fun, but, you know, one of the points that I wanted to make was he was a very lucky man that packed a lot into those 40 years, as we well know, and he had 2 very important parts to his life: Watertown, and then he kind of got to hit the reset button and create another awesome life out here in Portland. And all of you people out here in Portland that we may not know were so incredibly important to him, and that's the reason he stayed out here as long as he did. So please feel free to say hello. We got 8 zillion stories, you know, as we all do, so let's share them and embrace.
Yeah.
I know that it's really hard to get up and talk in front of people about this kind of stuff, and it's great to hear people talk about it, and I know that Sue and Gary, all the family, Jason and Jeff and Stacy, would be happy to hear your stories. So one of the things that we decided would be kind of cool is if you want to just go and talk to the video camera. Hans, my friend Hans over here, is going to be set up in a semi-discreet location, and if anybody wants to just say something, like a story or whatever, more private that you could tell, we thought that would be a nice idea. And if anyone else feels like coming up and saying a few things, that's great too. I'm so happy that all of you came here today. I see how many different groups of friends that Joey had, and this would have been the best party ever. So let's hang out and celebrate our friend Joey and have a good time if we can do that. I'm having a good time. I'm so happy to see all of you people, and Joey loved you all. He loved you all very, very much. He was a great friend and a great man. And that's all I gotta say.
Hi everybody, my name is Rhonda, and I met Joey in Portland because I worked with him for a long time. And I'd like to tell the story about how he actually got Potter, because I am the one that owned Potter. So I have a chocolate lab, and I found Potter. He was at a breeder, and he couldn't be bred anymore, and he was just the sweetest dog in the world, so I adopted him, and I brought my chocolate lab and Potter to the, and Joey loved my chocolate lab. She was a hunting dog, and he just loved her. And so I brought them both to work, and he came in the office and said, "It's not fair. It's not fair for you to own two perfect dogs. I want that one. I want the yellow one. I want Potter." And at the time I was married to somebody who didn't appreciate dogs or like dogs and was kind of complaining, so I went up to Joey eventually and said, "Do you really want Potter? Because I think I'm not going to be able to keep him." And he jumped on it and took him home immediately. And of course, I think he might have gotten Stacy's permission. I'm not quite sure, but he just loved my dog, and he loved Potter so much. And over the years, I haven't worked with him for a long time, but we always dog sit Potter when we can. And I'm just really gonna miss Joey a lot. I didn't see him very often, so it still doesn't seem real because I feel like I could see him soon. But I'm just really gonna miss him, and I'm really happy to see everybody here. Thank you.
I'm Joey's mom. I was so young when he was born. I was so scared. But he was such a good boy, such a good baby. And the experiences we've had in the last few years have been unforgettable. He started coming home for hunting a couple years ago, and last year was the event. Although he didn't get a deer, but that's when I learned to text. Because Joey would text me from his deer stand right on our property and say, "Walk the dogs, Mom." And then he'd tell me exactly where to walk so I could drive the deer to him. And then he'd text me again and he'd say, "I see you." And I had no idea where I still don't know where the deer stand is. I can't find it. And then he'd say, "Grandpa Billy's watching us." And I had 75 texts in that week, and I had to pay extra, but that's okay. And one morning, he came off the deer stand, 6 hours in the deer stand. It was a beautiful fall day, cold early, because he'd go out by 6, but he walked in the house and he said, "That was so zenful." And it was so peaceful there. And then he called this winter sometime and he said, "Mom, we're coming for the month of July." And my heart stopped. And I did a lot of worrying about that trip. And then 2 days before Joey and the kids and the dogs arrived, Stacy flew a couple days later. I never watched Dr. Oz, but I had him on that day. And Dr. Oz said one of the most profound things I've ever heard, and he said, "When you keep those you love close by, it gives your heart a reason to keep beating." And it totally changed my attitude on the visit and my life, actually. And I enjoyed every moment of their visit. It was 28 days. It was fun. I did things I hadn't done in 30 years. Joey, I got to watch him work out on our deck. I said, "How are you going to be able to go back to your office?" I mean, here he is, looking at the lake, working on his computer, phone in hand. We couldn't talk. We couldn't make any noise. Stacy and I were driven to the boat and made Kira go up and ask him how to tie the tube on the boat, because she and I had no idea. And Kira got sent back down. He wasn't gonna come down and show us, but Stacy and I figured it out.